everybody, Ben here for the Bonehead podcast, and it's Wednesday, it's WIP Wednesday. So on Wednesdays we try and get together and have a look at all the great stuff going on out there in the mostly Blood Bowl hobby community. So it's been a couple of weeks since my last confession. Last week I did a nice bit of recording and then realised that the echo was on. Some of the echo videos I got away with. This one was no good and I didn't have time to re-record it. So we're a little bit behind with WIP Wednesday. We're going to have a look at a bunch of submissions. I'll do as much as I can today, and I'm really sorry if I've already shown them or if I've missed anything off. Recording like 45 minutes of WIP Wednesdays last week, and then I can't remember which ones I've done and which ones I haven't, so you're going to have to forgive me. If you have submitted something in the last couple of weeks and you don't see it today, drop me an email, bounce it back, and we'll get to it next week. Anyway, let's have a look at all the great hobby things you guys have been doing. So first up, we've got a very cool one here from Max Philip Schrader. Hey Ben, thanks so much for the podcast. This March I became a dad for the first time, which is wonderful, but also leaves not much space for the hobby. Because of that, your podcast is my biggest touch point with Blood Bowl, and it keeps me very excited for times where I can go and back to playing Blood Bowl with others. Especially inspiring has been the episode with the tournament painting, and where you said that you painted a full team in one night. Generally speaking, every Friday before a tournament. It's something that me and Ben have got very good at doing. Terrible idea. Usually I paint very focused on the model qualities, see later section, but last week I decided to spend one night while the baby was asleep to paint an Elven Union box. Even though the models aren't painted up to my regular standards, it was a fantastic feeling to finish them off in a single night and helps get me hyped to paint another team soon. A medium quality painted team is better than a grey team. Thanks for the inspiration. Well, Max Philip, I completely agree. Now let's have a look. So we've got a nice Elven Union team here. And I don't understand why you... I mean, we'll have a look at the standard quality, but I think this is absolutely cracking, okay? Solid paint scheme. You can see you've done the blocked colours there to kind of save time. You've done a great job of picking out the details. And the bases, which, I mean, honestly, having a good base finishes most models. It saves... It finishes it off, and your base is absolutely top quality. Definitely not bowed out, even though, you know, you've got the challenge of a new young'un, which is very cool. Right, on to the next photo. There we go, let's center this one. This is wicked. Okay, so Max Phillips says, as I said above, usually I paint models very differently. My previous project took much longer than one night, but was a fitting theme. Because I was about to be a dad, I decided to praise Papa Nurgle with the team I painted before, the Elven Union. Now look at this team. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. You're a big fan of your bluey purples, and you know what? It works. So let's see, we get a bit of a zoom in here. I mean, no, this Nurgle team is so good. Like the Games Workshop Nurgle team. Alright, the stats aren't as good as they would like to be anymore, but wow. They paint up brilliantly. You've got some horrid flesh tones there, which is perfect. Excellent pink on like the guts and the horns and the tentacles and things. And a really strong colour scheme with that pale blue and the kind of purpley blue. With the pale green and the purpley blue, absolutely wicked to see. Now let's see if we can zoom back out again. And we'll get a nice shot of this. So I love this team. This is really good. Okay, because this is my first mail to you, I also wanted to show my old school dwarf team, which is a full custom build based on the old Warhammer Fantasy plastic dwarves. So amazing Nurgle team, but look at this. So you guys will know by now that I came into this at the same time I went through the Warhammer phase. Okay, so Warhammer dwarves are right there. So this is like the 7th edition plastics, I think, aren't they? Anyway, awesome stuff. Right, let's have a look. I tried to indicate the positions based on the model's equipment, e.g. the runners are carrying a barrel of beer, because dwarves are more likely to run after a beer than after a ball. Even though the models cannot keep up with newer dwarf models, is my favourite team, pending my Kuribo dwarves. Right, I love this. I love the theme. I mean, it's kind of Christmassy, so it's kind of appropriate right now. But, I mean, some of these dwarf models are some of my favourites. The death roller that you've built, absolutely superb. But I got to put my hands off. First of all, excellent choice of doing the stuff with the equipment. Like, these guys are clearly linemen, but you've got like this guy here who is, I'm going to guess, a blitzer. You've got the barrel guy who's going to be your runner there. And also it works because he's not wearing a helmet as well. But I personally absolutely love these old Slayer models. They're so good. So this looks like one of the old Marauder ones. And you've got the same on the other side. So this is absolutely awesome. And so is this. So this looks like it's made of a cannon chassis, and it might just be a bunch of axes, but there was an axe hewer in Warhammer later on that this might be. I think we've got a separate thing here. No. Oh, we got a little breakdown of it. No. Anyway, pending his Kuribo Dwarves. I mean, Kuribo Dwarves are fantastic, and to be fair, the Fanath ones are lovely as well, but I love the classic feel of this one. That is absolutely awesome, and congratulations on having the young'un, Max Philip. That's absolutely brilliant. Right, next up we've got Jay. Hey Ben, great show. Just on my night shift and watched the Dungeon Bowl content. Looks really fun. Finished my Nurgle and Elves. Don't know where to start next. Keep up the content, Jay. Jay, Nurgle team looking gross, which is, I'm assuming, the plan. The flesh with the yellow, it's really putrid, and it does a superb job. You've got that Nurgly vibe. I mean, I don't know what more you need. The only thing I could say is maybe put some stripes on with a different colour, because the flesh and the yellow kind of blend in together a little bit, but having a few red stripes or green stripes would kind of break it up a bit and might just add a little bit of spice, although I don't think it needs it. Elven Union, I mean, one of the most challenging teams to build, probably only after Dark Elves. Maybe we need to do a top five worst Blood Bowl teams to build. I mean, solid paint scheme, very Los Angeles Rams. This is great. Okay, so Jay, you've got Nurgle for the bash, and you've got Pro Elves for the dash. I think you are missing a stunty team. Snotlings, Halflings, Goblins is a difficult one to get into, but yeah, Snotlings or Goblins? No, Snotlings, Halflings, you need some star players for. Can't go wrong with Ogres. Can't go wrong with Ogres. Jay, that's wicked. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Next up, we've got Rob. Hey Ben and the Bonehead community. Just a quick one today. I've been working on something a little more seasonal recently, but still working on my non-metallic metal. So far I've added the hatch opening rim for non-metallic metal. Damn, that is amazing. Look at that. That is a really well pulled off thing. Look at that. Look at the shade. Like, look. Here we go. Just look at this. That is, yeah, that's definitely better than I could do. I love the idea of non-metallic metal, because I mean, I always go on about this. Like, we paint miniatures, and they've got the 3D elements to it. But there are some times, and this is definitely one of those examples, where you're painting on the miniature instead of just painting the miniature. And that is next level, and I should probably challenge myself a little bit more. Anyway, back to what Rob was saying. These are a bauble from Cyborg Miniatures of a Dwarf Pilot. They and a fourth when it arrives will be gifts to my new neighbours within my block of flats. I find my skills always pushed more when I know the miniature will be for somebody else, whoever that is, and I tend to spend more time and care on the miniatures also. I'm also working on Bucky O'Hare, but he is in the very early stages. I've seen the Bucky O'Hare. It's very cool. Apologies if it's too early, but I have seen trees popping up all over the place on my cycles. I hope everybody has a great Christmas holiday with friends and family wherever you are. Also, I got my first win in Blood Bowl 2020, second ever in Blood Bowl as a whole, although sadly it was a friendly, and my next league is my Halflings at 935k versus Necro at about 1400. Ooh, you know what? That's not a bad place for Halflings to be. You don't want to be too close on TV. Necro at 1400, they've probably got a couple of golems with block or something. They will have 2 werewolves, definitely with block, a couple of ghouls with block. That's about as dangerous as it gets. So you're playing with halflings. You know, Morg is always good. I know he's gone up in price. Griff, how much you got there? How much you got? You got like 400k. So you can get a good start and the keg in there to wreck there. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Halflings in this edition actually got pretty good, and they've still got good access to some great stars. Oh man, Bucky O'Hare. That is so retro. I love that. Alright, I cannot wait to see if you got that finished, because that is a very cool project. There is not enough like classic stuff like that. Absolutely brilliant. Hey, we've got Kevin up next. Hey, work in progress update, improving them between my league matches. 4 games played now. Love the Forge World sculpts. Quite a bit more work planned on these. Loving the Bonehead Championship. Warm regards, Kevin. Alright, so you know me, you know I love some Skaven. This Rat Ogre, there's a new one coming out soon, which is interesting. At least it gives you a different sculpt. I mean, I love this red and green scheme for Skaven. The base work you've done is really good as well. So if we look down here, you've put some crackle basing on. Now, doing crackle basing, I think you've done crackle basing, painted it green, and then put the earth on top. And it looks really cool. I mean, it's a lot of work to do multiple stages to your bases, but it's great. Now, the red and green theme, I really love it. It's got that classic vibe to it because it's not something that normally kind of works together. But that's what makes it such a good sports scheme. So I'm a really big fan of this. And that's for gutter runners, isn't it? Yeah, I've got the Forge World special. Forge World special positional there. So yeah, I mean, the gold works really well with green. Gold, red, and green. Man, these are some fancy Skaven. Yeah, see, more great bases. This is brilliant. This is a really cool thing with Skaven, is because they are just sewer folk. Like that mutation green, that gross sewer theme. It just works with them. Green, gold, red. Excellent combination. Ooh, we've got Chunky Boy here. So this is from Christian. Hey Ben, I collected some of my older sent miniatures that slip the gaps into one email. I've slowly been converting my necromantic team positionals and getting them the armor of the undead team. I shared my first 2 wraith conversions previously, but the second one didn't turn out as I wanted while painting, so I'm making a third one. All the guys are in some stage of WIP. So, it says the Khorne team came out. Finally, I've wanted to use the Khorne Gore pose for my necromantic werewolf for a long time, but hadn't found a good conversion base. One of the Punga werewolves is perfect, but they're huge. Are the Punga werewolves out as STLs yet? No, I don't think they are. Sorry guys, I'm still not 100%. I'm going again for the undead crossover look to necromantic. Hey, that's going to be so useful with the College of Beasts, because that's one team now. Those 2 teams, now one team. Yeah. Oh no, werewolves don't. They're beasts, aren't they? So I shaved down a white shoulder pads for him. I thought this would be an easy conversion, but shaving all of that Khorne armor off or changing its look to more undead was quite a bit of work. Fur isn't easy to sculpt as I thought, but I'm happy with the results. Okay, so we've got the werewolf here. So this werewolf is the werewolf head from the necromantic team, the white shoulder pads from the undead team, and most of the bits and pieces there from... Oh no, you've got the extra bits there from the Khorne Gore as well, with the legs. I mean, it's clever. That's clever. But I love this flesh golem. That orc skull works so well, to the point where I want an undead orc team now. I'm particularly happy with Werewolf 2 is based on a Khorne Gore. Let's skip that one and we'll come back to it. Oh, I can't find out where we've got any detail for the flesh golem. Anyway, flesh golem looks like it's got some mummy shoulder pads, or you've cloned the mummy shoulder pads, one of the two, but it works beautifully with a cheeky bit of orc skull there as well, and the wraiths. I mean, that's some seriously dynamic stuff. And the shoulder pads on the Werewolf 1 works brilliantly, but this guy here, Werewolf 2, that is a really dynamic, really exciting model. And you know what? When the Khorne Gore was kind of spoiled, I thought it was going to be the Ulfwereners for the Norse team, because I was like, oh, we've got this like dog person. What's this going to be? Turns out it's just a Khorne Gore. You know what? It's a wicked model. Christian, awesome stuff. Thank you so much for sharing there. Next up, we got Dan P, Hey Benz, and others. Wanted to submit my completed Kuribo Chimpa Limpa Kickstarter, my model of choice for the Blood Beast, and the colour test models for my next team to paint, the Punga Tomb Kings. Hope all have a great week. Dan P. Okay, we've got some very cool stuff. So this is going to be the Punga Tomb Kings. I mean, the red and the gold works perfectly for this team, but I would be remiss by not focusing on this element here. So we've got the halfling heads, because the halfling team comes with spare heads anyway. Using them as, and painting them gold as like the heads of statues. Absolutely superb. So we've got a couple here as well. And I think that is... I'm not sure what that is. It looks like maybe a Tyrannid head or something. I don't know. It looks very, very, very cool. I mean, the paint scheme is excellent. These models are wonderful. And look at that. We've got the glowing in the eyes as well. This is one of the really cool things about any one of the undead teams, or technically a chaos team. Like, they're glowing OSL, like the source lighting for the eyes, the ghostly kind of glow is just so good. I mean, we've seen it with some like wraiths and things that are like armor, just moving armor. Works really well with Stormcast models as well, where they got like a stone effect to them with the ghostly glow inside. It's really, really, really cool. I think we've got some more here. So this is one of the star players. This is the Blood Beast. Oh, that's brilliant. So I'm pretty sure that's a Kuribo model. I think that's one of the Kuribo star players. As a Blood Beast is excellent. But here we go. So this is the Chimpa Limpa team. Ah, only half loaded. There we go. Let's go with this picture instead. So this is the last Kuribo Cutimals, and it's a phenomenal work of a project. It's got a ton of different positionals you can use for things, but look at this. I mean, Dan has executed the best paint scheme for this that I've seen so far. I mean, the red face of this guy works out brilliantly. It's got that, like, it feels like you could play this on a PS2 game. It's got that kind of cartoony vibe. I think it's absolutely brilliant. The painting is beautifully executed it, and I think the key is the shading in the lines. It looks like it's got that cartoon aspect. Now you can see we got like blending on the banana there. You got some nice shading, excellent work on the rope there. But where you've got like the recesses, that bold outline makes it look comic booky, and I really like the way you've based it as well. That basing works out brilliantly with it. I mean, there's so many cool players on this. God, I really need to paint mine. There's so much to paint and not enough time because of, you know, work and stuff. Anyway, this is really, really, really cool. I love to see this team. And oh, you got the sloth version, man. You went in. I love these pump wagons. Look at this. This is excellent work. You've got some beautiful work on the fur. You've got some stripes there, and the stripes on the face of the sloth troll, because this is the snotling team. So you've got like, oh, beautiful work on the frogs there as well. Done. You got the bombardier. You got the fungus flinger. You've got the fun hoppers. I mean, it works brilliantly. Ah, this is incredible. This is the best execution I've seen of this. No break. Yeah, really, really, really cool. And this is pretty stunning as well. We're having a good day so far, guys. So, okay, so this is this is David Spence, and let me just try and find out which one of the emails is the right email. I don't want to get pickled. There we go. Let's go for this one here. Hey Ben, hope you and everyone at the podcast are well. Thanks for all the Dungeon Bowl and Corn content. Amy and I are very much looking forward to getting stuck into the new game and teams at Christmas. In the meantime, we finished off our Kuribo Dwarf team. Pictures of the completed team and Death Roller attached. We've finished off Acorn and the Snotling Lemur team from Kuribo as well, as I sent some of those pictures too. To celebrate finishing the teams, we had a match of Dwarves versus Snots. Amy played Dwarves for the first time and I played Snotlings also for the first time. The match somehow ended in a draw despite me only having 3 players left standing at the end. Amy claimed the Lemurs were too cute to kill and then proceeded to murder them with glee at every opportunity. Maybe that's the key. Tiff sort of said that she'll play a bit of Blood Bowl again, iron up some Cutimals teams. We've just seen the Lemur one painted really, really well. I mean, the dwarf team here is absolutely gorgeous as well. Thankfully, there was one very sneaky, heroic / lucky Snotling who just managed to leg it up the field, and Howells had somehow survived a 3-die block on the touchline. Thank goodness for Sidestep. Sidestep's awesome. It's coming up to a year since we started playing tabletop Blood Bowl and painting miniatures, so to celebrate, we've got the Kuribo Chaos Dwarves ordered to get stuck into over Christmas. All the best, David and Amy. Okay, so we've got some very cool stuff here. So let's have a look at this dwarf team. How good is this? I mean, excellent edge highlighting. That orange as an accent color really works well. Now, the gold, the silver, and the blue, they tie in really nicely. It's got a bit of an Ultramarines vibe, but I'm not going to hold that against you, because look at the quality of the color that goes with it. Look at the tones on the beards. Like, this is fantastic, and I love the basing as well. It's quite busy, it's quite heavy basing, but the way you've used a blended bit of dry brushing there with the browns and the reds, it ties it in and makes it really, it doesn't make it look flat, it makes it look varied. Really like it. But I mean, the bold colors and the excellent execution on the nameplates just make this team look like a spectacle. And I mean, The Death Roller always comes up looking great, but the rest of this with the soft blends and the excellent edge highlighting, just absolutely tip top. Look at this. Oh, it's such a good model. Death Rollers are so good. Now with the College of Fire, you can kind of use them as ogres in that Dungeon Bowl aspect. Perfect. You get to run them on the pitch. They get to be a bit more mobile and they have a bit more use. Really love it. And this guy exactly will fit that College of Fire ogre build brilliantly. Look at this. What an excellent way to do it. So this is the Kuribo acorn of the squirrel. You got the skulls. You got an insane amount of blood there. I mean, it's just excellent. What an excellent way to represent acorn in this game. And then you've got more Kuribo brilliance. Look at that. The different fur coat colours, I guess is the way to say it, is just phenomenal. This is clever. Like, I love this. Oh, this frog is probably one of the cutest I've ever seen in Blood Bowl. That's amazing. I need to show Tiff that, because that's so good. Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. I mean, David, Amy, this is just phenomenally good Blood Bowl. Thank you so much for sharing. That is so cool. Right, we're going to skip that one for now, and we'll go straight down to Blunt Brush. Hey, Benz, I wanted to drop over and wish you well and show you what I've been up to. I haven't shared anything on WIP Wednesday since you shared my jungle-themed ogres earlier this year. Afterwards, I took a lot of time to paint some Necromunda stuff, but now I'm back to Blood Bowl. Guys, if you're doing something cool with Necromunda or Battletech or Battlefleet Gothic, share it. This is about hobby. I've just finished my Dragon Ball-inspired Pro Elves. Oh, that is so good. I was obviously influenced by the classic look of Vegeta and Dragon Ball Z, and I took the idea and ran with it. I believe it fits quite well with the design of the team's kit, and I'm a fan of the little Dragon Balls in place of Soul Stones/gems. I've included a group shot and a few random one-offs so you can see the variety of looks across the team. Hope you enjoy them. I painted them quicker than I thought I would, and I'm still pretty content with the paint job. I'm currently painting a Chaos Chosen... currently playing Chaos Chosen in the Sevens League, but hopefully I can get these elves on the pitch for a real game soon. Thanks for sharing, and please keep up the good work. I love following along in the Bonehead Championship, even if I'm pretty bad at predicting the outcomes, the podcast, and all the other videos you've been posting. Thanks again, and as always, my work can be seen here on Instagram at Blunt Brush Studio. Okie dokie, so absolutely nailed it. Like that white with the blue and the orange pop there, absolutely. It is, yeah, this is a Dragon Ball Z themed team. And it's so good. And yeah, that Vegeta vibe is so clever. I mean, look at this. Alright, excellent work. Even painted the eyes. Absolutely. Like, that's genuinely very impressive. Now, this white is really well done as well. Especially, like, that overall vibe. You get the glow on there. I'm not sure if this is a... I mean, have you spot painted that bit? Have you blended it up? Have you airbrushed this? Because that is a really lovely finish on that white armor. And excellent work on the bases as well. Definitely, love the bright yellow hair. The Super Saiyan vibes there is excellent. And this is cool too, the different color schemes. But that orange bit there for the Dragon Balls, and the white just goes so good with that blue. It does absolutely smack of DBZ, and that is something I'm very proud of. Excellent white though, seriously. That's definitely go give Chris a follow at Blunt Brush Studio, because this is some really cool painting. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, this is going to be the last bit for today. I think it's important because I'm starting to lose my voice. Stuart has shared a little bit more with us. How many more emails have we got? Ooh, still got 30 to go, so I'm really sorry if I haven't got to yours yet. Stuart Shelley, who's excited that Kuribo's Amazons will finally be available in Gree Blood resin. I am for one, says Stuart. In preparation, I've painted up the stuff I've had sitting in my to-do pile for a while now. The head coach is by Hero Club Minis, and the apothecary by Succubus Studios. Happy painting, everyone, and here's looking forward to Dungeon Bowl 2. Stuart, phenomenal job here. I mean, it's all very good, the basing's good, the individual like bits of armor are good, but I think the thing you need to look at here, and this is what we'll show off and end on, look at the work on the face. Look at the way Stuart's blended up from that dark tone and mixed in that pale pink flesh just to get the highlights. Really good job, Stuart. Now, Stuart is a bit of a Warcry specialist as well, so there's a lot of cool stuff coming out from Stuart as well. Alright, guys, I'm so sorry that we've still got a ton of stuff to go through. I am loving it, and it's so cool to see. I'm very behind on emails and everything. So sorry for that. I'm doing my best to catch up, but we get a lot of emails every day, and it's awesome to hear from you. So sorry if I haven't got back to you. Anyway, guys, I am going to wrap up because I have got to go film a game with Ben in a minute. So I'm looking forward to that. Which game will we do? Necromantic and Snotlings, yes. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Don't forget to put your guesses in for the Bonehead Championship. We are going to go. We'll be back with more Blood Bowl content soon. Thank you for sharing. theboneheadpodcast@gmail.com. Happy painting. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content. We get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead Podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.